Cooey! It's the honest fake Emily Payne on the road. Well, I'm in my car. I'm not actually on a road, but I'm in my car. I thought I would do a video in a different location, a different locale, for your benefit, for my regular viewers. I've got 82 subscribers now, so I'm pleased. And this is one in my occasional series of the client I've just seen. So I'm just seeing a client, and that's why I'm driving home now. So it was an out call. So I went to see him, and it's been about a 35-minute drive. I'm not going to tell you who I am. I'm not going to tell you any distinguishing features about the client. That's confidential. I just tell stories about them and put them on YouTube. Now, it wasn't a particularly it was a very sort of bog standard appointment. Again, I'm just trying to show you the reality of the situ, what the day-to-day, work-a-day life is of a sex worker in this world. So again, I'm not going to tell you much about him. Suffice to say, I've just given someone a lap dance in a caravan. I think it's not the first time. It's not the first time I've lap danced somebody senseless in a caravan, and a static caravan, not like bombing down the A19. Wobbling around all over the place. So he wanted my secretary look. So as you can see, I've got, my little see-through-ish blouse. It's just Primark via a charity shop. And I had my little glasses on and pencil skirt, my secretary look. And then I just proceeded to do a striptease. He was all well into it. I thought, oh my God, what's happening here? Is he watching porn behind me back or something? Because literally the minute I started this striptease / lap dance, he was away with the fairies. He had a stonker. And I could see it was quite big as well, so I cringed. More of that later. He was writhing around in his own juices. So I was doing this lap dance. All these days, all I'm thinking when I'm giving a lap dance or striptease and things is, will they be able to hear me knees crunch? There's a little bit of knee crunch going on these days. But there didn't seem to be today. I couldn't hear it anyway. He didn't have the music up that loud, so no crunchy knees today. I just make up, lap dance, striptease, just make it up as I go along. That men are quite pleased. Men are quite pleased. As I've said to this woman who I am training up in the world of sex work, don't try too hard. Men are very easily pleased. And that's the motto I live by. So I started with this. I had me sex bra on, which I noticed this morning still had the little tag on saying 36 double D. You get a little thing that's stitched on there, little cardboard. So I'd taken all the other tags off, but it still had, and I've worn this bra loads of times now, as if I'm advertised. Look, I'm a 36 double D. Sometimes E, depends where I buy my bras. The score there, ladies. Anyway, I just pulled that off this morning, and proceeded to do this lap dance. So he put a chair out for us. I involved the chair. I did a bit of sort of like Christine Keeler sort of stuff. I was ad-libbing. I'm like a jazz striptease artist. I ad-lib, I'm freestyle. Very, very freestyle. But I was trying not to fall over as well. When you do striptease, you've got to try not to fall over, because I'm in heels, and you know what I mean? You're trying to balance and everything. And not to basically look like a giant tit. So I'd stretched this lap dance come striptease out as long as I could. Trying to stretch it out as long as possible, Then I was on my knees in front of him, gave him a blowjob. And he was going crazy. He was loving it. Like he was on something. Do you know what I mean? Like on some sort of sex drug. If sex drugs exist. I'm sure they do. Like chemsex. Anyway, he was writhing around, proper stonker as well. Like, you know, like a hard on that's hard as iron, one of those. And I'm thinking, oh God, he's quite big as well. And I can't be arsed with a big cock. They take longer to come. And anything you do with them that's potentially painful. I was already getting jaw ache. You know, I was like, I sometimes visualise myself as like, you know, those snakes that can like dislocate their jaw. So they open their mouth up like, ah, one of them. And that was that. Then we went through to the bedroom because I was sick of being on my knees by this point. I was just thinking, oh, you know, you're weighing things up when you're in a sex work job. Thinking, well, if I'm not on my knees sucking his cock, I had my finger up his arse because, and it was unsheathed. Not the whole finger. I wouldn't have gone that far unsheathed. But he was going crazy, and I felt his arsehole. I could tell when you're giving a blowjob that you'll know this. Whoever's giving a blowjob, you know, you can see if their balls do anything for them, or go into their perianals and all the rest of it. You're just sort of trying different things, especially in sex work, because you know absolutely nothing about them. You don't know what turns them on. You don't know how they feel about their perianals, for God's sake. But the minute I went anywhere near the perianals, he was on the verge. So you're kind of trying to speed things up. Do you know what I mean? To an eye to getting an early finish. So his arsehole was pristine. Now I know a clean arsehole when I've got my finger halfway up it. You know, it was that like rubbery feeling, clean, no dampness, no moisture. It was that rubbery feeling where someone's gone at it with a baby wipe and a Brillo pad. So his was like that. So I thought, well, bless him, he's gone to the troubles. I'll put my finger partially up. I'm not going to stick it right up in case there's trouble further up. Anyway. And that was really doing it for him. So then we went through to the bedroom, and awful bedding, and proceeded to have sex, which I was dreading because he was quite big and he was hard as iron. So with me being perimenopausal, some of you out there will know sex can get a little bit painful in the perimenopause years. I did Google it, and there's some reason for it, some physical reason for it, something that's happening internally. I can't remember, but it can get a little bit painful. So obviously when they've got a big knob, you're thinking double trouble. Perimenopause and a big knob. I was going to say it's like a name for like a double act. It's perimenopause and big knob. Welcome to the stage. God knows what their act is. And so that was that really. But the sex didn't hurt. I was surprised. I put on half a bottle of lube, mind. Wonder if I've got any lube left. So lubed myself right up to the skies. Had sex, done, dusted. And I was away. He booked us for an hour. I was away in 45 minutes. So that's win-win, you know. Charge him extra because it's a canny way and it's through the tunnel and it's, you know, all that business. So I've come out of it cash on the hip. You know me. Money in purse, closed purse, put purse in handbag. Done. All right. So I'm going home now for a cup of tea. Of red bush tea, as per, and I'll leave you with that, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Goodbye.